The pounding of the basketball on the hardwood court would make one assume I had an iota of an idea what was going on. At a pickup game where I only arrived out of curiosity, and to make comments about a game that I had less understanding of than I did the female anatomy, where I had unfortunately been picked to sub in on the assumption that I was fairly lengthy and looked like a cross between Zippy the Pinhead and Jafar, and had nothing better going on, and was at least passable by the standards of an epileptic seahorse. But boy were they wrong. I checked in when the score was fairly favorable, and the team's chemistry was flatter than tap water, but still a cohesive unit on offense. But when on defense began the first act of a modern-day tragedy, as the attacking team decided to begin taking three-point shots to try to close the gap, and following these actions, you'd be thinking a being who had never handled any sort of ball in an athletic event would listen to his teammates and shy away from a shot with such a low success rate that you'd have a higher chance of hooking up with your second cousin at a nearby dive bar. But no. And just like a reflex erection, I sprung out of the pocket of players and attempted to take an immoral stance on the word tackling, and as I approached him, he gave the typical visual characteristics that you'd expect of a happily married 32-year-old with 2 kids, college debt, and what I suppose are dead dreams, but crossed me with such a dead look in his eyes that for a moment I assumed my ankles ran away from my body, and then knew without a doubt that I would never be able to afford a house in this economy. And as the silence that descended upon the court was broken by the sound of my mediocre ass cheeks planting themselves on the hardwood floor, and as I rushed back up to save what little dignity I had left, my ears were the first to be greeted by the mood-killing sound of the smack of the backboard, the ringing of the rim and world-crushing sound of the net's swish as he sunk the 3, and my teammates had the look of individuals who had just witnessed a crime take place and the criminal was waiting for seconds. After the restart, and with our opponents having enough psychological leverage to make you forget this was a friendly game and teleport you front and center of a North Korean firing squad with 3 shots already entertaining your spleen and liver, and the other one hoping you can dodge it before full time, this made us all agree to maintain possession till the time runs out and hold on to our narrow lead at any cost. This plan was amazingly effective as I meandered around the court to receive and pass the ball in such a way that only true connoisseurs of the art would appreciate. But just as we continue our excuse of a game, I slowly pan over and find Mr. Dead inside, and proceed to become the most toxic slice of bread in existence as I continue to get closer to him and pass around when he reaches in and maybe getting too excited as he's frothing at the mouth. I think to myself, this is what I've been waiting for. This continues for a while, until I decide to pass as I got a pass-the-ball call-out and learned the greatest lesson in my history with contact sports, as I hadn't noticed that my previously stationed teammates were no longer, well, stationary. And the call-out was made from an opponent that had physically dominated my teammate, who I didn't care to memorize any physical features but just respond to call-outs like a well-trained German shepherd. And as I watched them run up to the backboard, make the layup, score the point, efficiently run down the clock, and win, only one thought crossed my mind. This catastrophe would not have happened if you had asked if I could play in the first place. That's all the time I have for today. A like and sub will help the channel out a lot. Thank you, and have a great day.